So DeAndre Ayton. So DeAndre Ayton signed a contract, max contract.
Max.
What do you think about not only the Indiana Pacers coming in and offering that deal, but what do you think about Phoenix matching?
Well, I think Indiana just played the best game they could have. They said no one's signing this guy to a max. We're rumored to get him every single day. They cleared cap space for him. So I think they really did want him. But at the worst case, they fucked over, they fucked over the Suns because the Suns were not trying to give him a max. No one was trying to give him a max.
Nobody was trying to give him max.
I personally I would have given it to him just because you got to keep him,
You have to keep him. He's young. He has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And honestly, he didn't play that bad.
No.
It's a game of where it's getting away from players like him.
Yeah.
And I think that we're in a league where like bigs are kind of like not almost like they don't get the same love as everybody else.
No, not at all.
It's really hard to be a great big in this league, and for you to deserve a max. Like there's only like a couple of max maybe 3 max contract centers in the league.
Yeah, it's Embiid, Jokic, and Rudy now, and Towns. Towns is the 4th, and he's become a 4 now.
Yeah, he's a 4 now, and I think that also another thing that we have to look at with the Ayton getting signed is that it kind of backed them in the corner of no Kevin Durant.
Not until at least January 15th.
Yeah, because now they can't trade DeAndre Ayton, and he's a very big piece in what Nets would want.
Yeah.
But I think that DeAndre Ayton deserves a max contract from what the league is. Yes. If I wanted to keep him, I would do it simply because of his potential, and it's like you're just kind of throwing him away if you're just like letting him go.
Yeah, you're mismanaging your assets if you just let him walk.
Yeah.
So at the very least, even if they don't get KD and the situation gets worse, Ayton has value out there. He's not going to be a negative contract until he's like 30. So This is the best time for his value. The Phoenix can get whatever they want, pretty much.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's only doing 17 and 10, but he's pretty young. But who's to say that you don't change the offense to maybe because the offense, if you look at it in the playoffs, was not towards him at all.
No.
So, of course, him still getting 17 is still kind of nice in a way. He's still getting the 10 rebounds. If he could get it up to 22 and 12, you could see him probably maybe third team, all team.
NBA, yeah. I mean, he was averaging more before CP3 came, but his efficiency went up when CP3 came. So he was an 18 and 10 guy, and that's his second season, 21 years old, bro. I feel like DeAndre Ayton, if he was on the Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton, is capable of 22 and 12. But this system isn't built for him. It's really not.
It isn't built for him to score. And then I would say that the system is just like it's a lot of pick and roll, but they're not much. He's not getting the ball.
No, they're kicking out to shooters as much as they can. This team shoots way too many threes. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna see him gone in a year, but the what the Pacers did is just so smart. Because also there's a 15% trade kicker, so they know that Ayton knows he's getting his bag. Not only is he making
no matter what.
Yeah, so for him, this is the best situation. Stick it out in Phoenix for half a year to a year.
Yeah.
And then I'm out of there.
They had the best team. They had the best record in the West. So it's working kind of in a way.
Yeah,
I would totally say. And Chris Paul, he always needs a center. I don't care what people like to say about Chris Paul. But he's a very good point guard, but he definitely always needs a center to always do something for him, like the dirty work. DeAndre Ayton does hustle.
He does. DeAndre Ayton also can jump higher than a lot of centers. People forget how important that is because he's the lob threat.
The alley-oop Pt.1.
Yeah, what he did on Giannis, bro, like not many centers can do that. And that's a game-changing play in a meaningful game, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like he gets a lot of hate because, you know, he's kind of soft on defense a little bit,
Yeah.
but he is an elite rebounder, he's an elite finisher, so that has value in the NBA for sure.
I think eventually he'll come by.
Yeah.
He'll take that lead.
23 years old, bro.
Yeah, he's got a lot of time.
100%.
But talking about now with like the KD trade involved, um, yeah, that seems like they're not going to be able to get him,
No.
which is not exactly a winning type of mentality, in my opinion,
No.
of Suns.
No.
So it does put a perspective of if they're going to win, they're not looking exactly of changing their whole lineup.
No, you can't because if you've got your roster these days, you can't win a championship. Even if you do have KD, Book, and CP3,
Yeah.
like the Warriors got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, who's one of the better role players in the league. Then you got crazy young players, you know. Like you have to have a starting five.
You have to have a team. You have to have backups, and they would have to trade Ayton, and they would have to trade Bridges. They would have to trade draft picks, probably even somebody else in there.
Maybe Cam Johnson, who's very valuable.
Like, yeah, he's a defender and can shoot. Like, I don't know if Kevin Durant is really worth me blowing up my team if I'm still number one. Like, we're still almost there. So, I personally don't like the Suns, but the Suns are a very good team every single year for the last 2 years now. So
yeah,
they figured it out. They've gone over the hump.
Yeah, I mean the Suns are kind of a team that I see dropping off, even if they keep this roster. I think chemistry's bad right now. They're gonna have to work this Ayton thing out a lot, and even if you do get KD, he's 34. How long is he realistically gonna be there? You know, like
I don't even see Kevin Durant being what, not to compare, but I don't see him having a Michael Jordan or a LeBron long-lasting career. Seeing him at 40, I don't even think he likes basketball that much. They even do that. Like, I think he would personally just want to retire and walk off.
Yeah, the thing with KD feels like he talks about how all he loves is basketball, right? But it feels like he's just trying to play with his friends these last few years. Like, and I think he should have realized it's hard. It's hindsight's 2020, but just because you and Kyrie are best friends doesn't mean you're the best fit on the court together. You know, you're the best fit on the court with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala. Like,
it was the perfect fit, match made in heaven. Like,
literally,
I knew as soon as he left and he went to the Warriors, it was over because that's exactly what they needed. They needed a kind of mobile big that could still stretch the floor.
Yep.
And Kevin Durant is not just that; he's a sniper.
He's everything.
Get a bucket anytime. He can still average 30 on a team like that.
Like, that's absurd.
Yeah, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. And Kevin Durant is that valuable. So I understand why people are like the Nets are trying to trade everybody. Like they're trying to get everybody on somebody's team because that's how valuable he is. But maybe he's valuable for maybe 3 more years.
Yeah, like he's got 4 on that contract. Like that, if there's one bad year, that contract's looking like you don't want to say it, but it's looking like Westbrook or John Wall in his last year. You don't want that.
Yeah. No.
I think KD though, being 7 foot and shooting over everyone is still like something that he'll be able to do. But
yeah, but his game does have potential to have longevity because he doesn't high jump. He doesn't move very fast. He's not like, yeah, he does get in there and bang and stuff. He does get banged up a little bit, but realistically, he's outside. He's taking a lot of jumpers,
a lot of middies.
So he could take some time off and like just, you know what I mean, rest his body, and he could take plays off where he's not working so hard. But
yeah,
I would say I don't know. I don't see him going to like 40. I don't see.
Nah, 40. There's a couple people in the NBA who I see going to 40. And the only one right now is LeBron. I don't see anyone else really going to 40.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else going 40. I mean, freaking Udonis Haslam. I don't know.
Yeah, Udonis Haslam 50 in the. You know what I'm saying?
Udonis Haslam hasn't played a damn game.
He's just instigating. He's the perfect instigator. He's that Mark Phillips meme, bro. He's he's prime instigator.
He's taking someone's job. That's what
He is. He is. He really is. Miami, like they could have some young talent that for that one spot, but UD's crucial.
No, I get it though. I would just hire him as a coach, but whatever.
Yeah. It's exactly what the Lakers should have done with Dudley. But
Hired him as a coach.
Yeah, 100%. And what do you think about keeping the KD tone? What do you think about these rumors? Because when there's smoke, there's fire about him going back to the Warriors. Because they have the package if they want to give it.
They have the perfect package.
If they want to give it, they can, but I don't think they should. But who knows?
I'm gonna say something about if we're talking about the Warriors. Steph Curry is the most secure basketball player of all time.
Of all time, bro.
Of all time. I don't care. Michael Jordan couldn't do this. Nobody else. Kobe couldn't do this. Anybody else? Like Kobe literally said he could not take a backseat to anyone. Like
No.
Lots of people in the league that played this game cannot just say, okay, and do what he did. The only person that's comparable is Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
But Dwayne Wade is not on Steph Curry's level.
Yeah, he's just not. Steph Curry's top 10 all time now, so it's
he's top 10 all time. Now they have the same amount of rings, but let's be real, Steph is an anomaly.
He is.
For him to be able to just say, yeah, I'll take KD back is scary.
Because it is scary because
you just simply win the next 3 years.
They can still have a little bit of a bench too. That's what's scary about it.
They have enough money. They all they need to do is maybe trade. So they would have to. The package would have to be. Unfortunately, Curry, you'd have to lose your homie Jordan Poole. You'd have to.
Yeah,
he's too good.
You have to.
Showing out this season that he's too good. He needs to be in it. Kuminga.
Yeah.
He has to be in it.
And Kuminga, in my opinion, all-star, bro. Future all-star. But they got to do it.
They have to do it. I would try to keep Wiseman. But if you could maybe switch Wiseman and Poole in there, maybe you keep Poole, maybe you keep Wiseman, maybe you keep, pick one of those. But then Moody's got to go. Yeah. They got to give up draft picks. But they have all of that set in stone. And the only situation that would have to happen, I think, the only thing that's stopping it is that Draymond Green needs to call Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's a great point. These two, it's time to rehab the relationship if they really want to do this.
That's it. That's simply it. That's the only thing I think that's holding back. Steph Curry, who by far can say, fuck no, dude, I don't need you. He's got 2 championships without him. And to just open up his doors and be like, yeah, come on home. Come to my house where I'm beloved, but you can be the king. I'll give you the keys. You go full throttle, I do what I do. I might average a little less. My assists might go up a little bit more. But you're still going to you. And we're going to win championships and win. Steph Curry, he's the man for that.
Yeah, Steph Curry's about the banners. He's proven it. He's proven he's the best shooter of all time. He's proven that he's up there with Magic as the top 2 point guard of all time. Now it's just, can he get more rings than everyone? Because if Steph Curry ends up with 6 rings, like we're having Mount Rushmore conversations then, and that's scary.
Yeah, and I would have never thought this man would have got there.
No,
I would say I was a hater. And but I've definitely come to respect his game a lot, and I've seen it. And this year showed me a lot too, where he can do it on himself. But for him to just say like, yeah, come on, KD, it's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't think my ego could take that.
They might be one of the best 1-2 punch scoring ever.
Yeah. It's them and Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah. It's just a different generational game. Like 100%. Kobe and Shaq, they just, they can get to the rack. You know what I mean? Pick and roll, real big man, small man. Theirs is like just lights out shooting. I don't care if you're up 35. If
Pulling from everywhere.
Yeah, if you play that team, you're up by 35. It was really only possessions.
Yeah, bro.
Back down for 6. Like
12 threes, and we're back in it.
Yeah.
This team's psycho.
So they have the package. They would have to give up the young players, unfortunately. But that's not to say that they still don't have even younger players. Like they have Baldwin.
Yeah, they drafted Baldwin, who's going to be a demon.
They got Mac, who they can bring up. You know what I mean? They don't have to go and reach out and go sign these free agents if they go and get KD. They still got a lot of core. They would keep Looney, who could play defense. They would keep what's his name? They would hopefully try and keep Wiggins if they could.
Yeah, because I think they have to, because Wiggins and Ben can't be on the same team right now with their contract.
Yeah, so that would have to, like, they would be able to keep Wiggins. And if they can do all that, if they can have a lineup of this, ideally, if they can have a lineup of, and I think this is no disrespect to this player, but I think he does just need to take a step back. But Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Durant, Draymond, and Looney.
Clay off the bench?
Clay off the bench. I'm sorry. He's got to.
I can't roll with you on that one. I can't roll with you on that.
Dude, he's got to take a step back, dude. I'm sorry. He's got to take a step. He didn't show me anything in the playoffs that he was any of the player that he was. And you cannot tell me that Jordan Poole was not playing better than him.
Jordan Poole was playing better in select games, I'd say. But Clay is still one of their best defenders, for sure.
Best what, defenders?
Defenders, perimeter defenders.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Can you imagine the spacing of that lineup, though, if it's Clay for Looney? You can run 5 out.
Yeah.
Like just Draymond's in. Everyone can defend on that team. All 5 players can defend. That's crazy. And they can all shoot, all score. Like
Wiseman, I'd start Wiseman too.
I'm not mad at Wiseman, but if you're keeping Wiggins, Wiseman might have to be gone, though, is the only issue.
Like all the young guys might have to be gone. Like Moody, Wiseman.
Yeah, because you got a salary match. KD's making a lot. He's making like 40. Wiseman's like 10. Kuminga's closer to 6.
Well, Jordan's got the bag.
Not yet. Oh. He will. He'll be extension eligible. Starting soon.
So maybe they just go and get. I see the Warriors going to get him in deadline.
What do you mean?
I see them waiting. KD comes back to the. Maybe KD stays at the Nets. He plays it through. They trade at the deadline, but before the deadline, they extend Jordan Poole. You get that money.
Eventually.
Trade him.
The only issue is they won't be able to. He needs to make that money this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what they can do is they can put Wiggins in a deal, put Jordan Poole. He's like at $2 million, one of the best contracts in the NBA.
Simmons would have to come.
Then Wiggins has to go to a third team.
Okay. Yeah.
Third team's got to send Brooklyn assets. I don't really know who's like.
You got to put Lakers in there. Hey. Kyrie's got to be in there, Ben. We'll take Kyrie in bed.
The Kyrie in bed. Russ,
PHT, everybody. No, but if KD goes back to Warriors, that's they're three-peating at least at the least.
Yeah.
They won this year, and I see them winning another 2 because they've done that before. They've won 2 in a row. There would be nobody in the West, to be honest, that could go against them. And the only team that I could possibly see maybe beating the Warriors with that team, and it would be like the greatest performance of all time, is that I truly believe in Giannis.
Yeah.
He could, if he had a healthy Bucks team, Chris Middleton, everybody on the shooters, maybe they go and get somebody during the year.
Yeah.
That would be ideally the team to go against the Warriors, because it would be his time to finally, you know what I mean, solidify that he can overcome. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tall task because Chris Middleton's an all-star, but he's no Kevin Durant, you know. He's no Steph Curry, so It's gonna come down to like, can Drew Holiday perform? Can Grayson Allen perform? Can Bobby perform?
I think Drew can bother Steph. But seeing Steph this last year, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he's botherable
because he wasn't that bothered this year, and they were double teaming him, triple teaming him. But if you got Kevin Durant on your freaking team, and you got Clay in the corner, you can't double. You can't double. So
someone's always going to be open, and they're the highest percentage shooter in the league.
Dude, if KD, like, that's how good that fit is, though. That Steph Curry can have his best shooting year of all time. KD could still win MVP. And on top of that, they could probably take turns in a series and playoffs. Like,
what other team can take turns like that? No one.
Yeah, nobody. Nobody's healthy enough. Nobody's ready enough. Like, no one gets buckets like that. Like, and they would be shooting from the parking lot. There would be no defense. There'll be no defense in the NBA that could beat them. Like, I guess the only team also in the West that could bother them, if I want to say it realistically, is okay. I would say a healthy Clippers.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Now, with John Wall, Paul George, Kawhi, and then all the role players that they got.
They got mad defenders, mad wings, like.
They can ideally match up with them, but can they score enough to beat them? Nah. I remember when Kevin Durant went versus them when he was as a Warrior then, and it was disgusting.
It's just like they're swinging the ball across the whole court. Like, you can be as long as you pause. You can be as long as you want, but like at the end of the day, if the ball moves faster than the person, so.
And that's the thing about the Warriors, it's that they don't care who goes for 30.
No. That's it. No ego, bro.
Like, Kevin Looney, I believe, was averaging 17 and 12. Like,
nice.
These
guys be pulling out people. They turn good players into role players.
Yeah,
like elite role players. Andre Iguodala was a starter
on the floor. Like, that's perspective of their type of game. And honestly, I don't know if I try to take away his coaching, but he is a good coach. Steve Kerr is a good coach.
Yeah. 9 rings,
he's a good coach.
He's a coach.
He solidified that even this year, where coming back from these booty years. I still think that this is Mark Jackson's team, but Steve Kerr,
core. The initial core.
Steve Kerr, he knows what he's doing. He understands the players that he has.
Yeah.
And if Kevin Durant comes in the fold, they'll do the work. They'll worship him. They'll give him the crown.
They'll just pull out the playbook from a couple of years ago and be like, "Hey, let's just go win a couple championships real quick." And no one can talk shit about KD anymore.
And that would solidify KD. If they win the next 2, they 3-peat. So then Steph Curry's got a 3-peat on his level. So then that would leave him with 6. That would also leave KD with 4. Draymond Green would be talking
6. Clay would have 6.
Clay would have 6. Like, come on. I think Looney would have 4.
5, 4 or 5. I don't know, something like that.
5. He missed 1 year.
He definitely missed the first year.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they can do it. They can do it. Yeah. And that's the team to do it. That's the team to do it. They have the best package. If the Nets really want something out of KD, that's the best you're going to get. You're not going to get anything that's going to be as valuable as a Kevin Durant.
No. And the Warriors, it's basically pick your poison. Do we want to be good for 20 years? We want to be good for 3 to 5 years. But, not just good, championship good,
And getting those draft picks will be nice because then, those are some trade assets for the future.
The Nets, the Nets have to get value now. If they can get 4+ first-round picks, I think that's good for them because they got to make up for all the lost picks that they gave away for James Harden.
Exactly. Yeah. And, dude, why not just trade Kevin Durant, get what you can, tank, and just get Victor Wembanyama.
They don't have their pick though. That's the issue.
They don't have their pick this year.
They're trying to be competitive, which is why Russell Westbrook is a great player for them.
Hey, he won't miss a game.
He won't miss a game.
He won't miss a game.
Durable.
But Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons on the same team would be absolutely disgusting.
That might be reminiscent of like the 60s spacing, you know? Bill Russell out there with two bigs.
It would be good defensive-wise, I would believe.
Oh, yeah.
Because Ben Simmons is a good player. I don't understand why KD and Kyrie don't want to play with Ben Simmons. Like, I get that he hasn't played. I know it's the mental game. But the potential of that kid, I was just watching.
Yeah, give me 1 year of it.
The Summer League, and he was playing phenomenal. Like, he can actually play a point guard as a 6'10".
Yeah, that's scary.
And
that's still scary.
I get that he doesn't shoot the ball. I don't know what it is because we've seen it in high school. We saw it in college a little bit, the little mid-range. He can shoot. We see it even in summer. He can ball.
There's nothing more infamous than a Ben Simmons open run tape every single summer.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons got a shot. Ben Simmons got a burner now. Like, no.
Shooting from half court. So I don't know what that was. We'll have to figure that out eventually. Hopefully this he will play. But I think he also
looks like he will.
Ben Simmons has the potential to change Kevin Durant's mind. If Kevin Durant suits up at least one game and Ben Simmons can play, I think Ben Simmons has the potential to change Kevin Durant's mind and show that, hey, like, we can maybe do this ourselves.
Ben Simmons, really, all he needs to do with this team is be a more athletic, light-skinned version of Draymond Green. That's all you need. Like, you can do that. You're setting up Kyrie Irving. You're setting up Kevin Durant. You're setting up Seth Curry, who's the highest percentage shooter in the league. You're setting up Joe Harris, who was one of the highest percentage league.
You don't need to do nothing. Rebound, pass.
Pass, shoot, defend, dunk. Like, give me 10 points a game. All I want is 10.
Yeah.
5 dunks. You don't even need to shoot a jumper.
Double. 10, 10, and 10.
Exactly. That's a winning player.
Yeah.
It's just if he has to decide to do it.
I don't know. Yeah. I really hope. I would love to see him on the Lakers, ideally, but
yeah,
if we could trade Russell for him, but
it's just not in the cards right now.
Yeah,
it'd be nice, but what do you think about trading? You know, obviously trading Russell for Kyrie is a severe upgrade, and there's the whole thing about the 27 pick, 29 pick. There's this whole dilemma going on. I'm a huge Laker fan, so for me, I obviously don't want to see our assets go. I want to be able to make 2 trades this offseason. I want to be able to trade Russ for Kyrie, Russ in the 27 for Kyrie, which I realize isn't, like, value-wise isn't the best, but it's what's on the table. It's the only thing on the table for them. Yeah. And then that 29, I'm trying to trade. I love Taylor. You see the jersey. I got Taylor jersey, but who has a Taylor jersey? No one has a Taylor jersey, but Taylor and Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, Wenyen Gabriel, and the 29 first for Buddy Hield or Miles Turner, one of those two. I think you put a team with Kyrie, Buddy Hield, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, insert big or wing, like, that's a good-ass team. And I think that team competes at the top of the West. They're probably not the best, but they compete because we've seen them do it. We've seen Kyrie and LeBron do it before.
They can do it. I believe that it's a great fit. It's a storyline fit, too. I think the NBA truly, deep down inside, would love that because, one, it would be a reuniting of Russell and KD and reuniting Kyrie and LeBron. They could both hash out their little whatever shit they had. Mm-hmm. But Kyrie Irving, this is my concerns. Because I love LeBron, so I want LeBron to win.
Yeah.
What ideally I want. So since he's on the Lakers, I'm voting for the Lakers.
Right.
The concerns that I have with the Lakers, even if we get rid of Russell Westbrook, which Russell Westbrook was terrible last year, I think getting someone like Kyrie Irving, I do not care about the outside aspect of the vaccination. I don't care about the Ramadan or whatever he wants to do. And if he wants to speak out, speak out. But what I have a problem with is that he might be injured. And at least Russell Westbrook is going to at least get out there. That's what I have. And AD is another valuable player on our team that it also gets injured, injury prone.
It's so tough to deal with.
It's every. It seems like every year also with LeBron James, he always has some star that's next to him that gets him. Oh, all the time. But I think if we could trade and keep somebody, like, I think if we could keep Austin Reeves, that's even nice.
Austin Reeves that man's putting in 3 days right now. He's gonna be built diff next year. I hope so.
He is what I think people were wanting out of Tyler Hero, but Tyler Hero got too cool and started just shooting hella mid-range fadeaway jumpers, and he's not like that. But
Tyler Hero, give Tyler Hero Austin Reeves' work ethic, he's an all-star next season.
Yeah, exactly. Austin Reeves has the potential to be a very, very, very good asset. I would say a replacement of Caruso and doing like a lot of dirty work. But
he cares about winning. We need players like that, you know.
Yeah.
Every team has a player like that. That's every winning team has a player like that.
Yeah. I would say that that if they could trade and get THT as well, like keep THT and Austin Reeves, we should go all in on Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. At least Miles Turner, maybe, because then Miles Turner is skinny. He's still athletic, but he's still able to like
stretch the floor.
He likes to actually get in there and rebound and stuff. Like, and AD could go to the 4. He could guard the 4 player.
100%.
Because that's what AD likes to do. We got to do what's best for the team. Best for the team also is not having LeBron James be almost the scoring leader.
LeBron James at small forward is really entertaining, but LeBron James at point guard is winning basketball. We could have a guard do all the dirty work, guard the point guard. You can't make LeBron do that 38, you know, but if he's running the offense, I think that's the best point guard in the league, potentially the best point guard of all time. So how do you not like let him just run the offense, you know, and just give him 2 wings who can shoot and defend. That's what we need. And you got AD to clean up everything, you know.
That is literally what we need. And Kyrie would be a great fit because LeBron, if you notice in the last years of him playing, he doesn't need like exactly a point guard. Like
no.
He needs a guard that can simply get a bucket.
Exactly.
That's it. He'd be looking around sometimes and baby would just be staring at him.
Waiting for him to do something.
Yeah, Kyrie might do that, but you passing the ball, he's going to go find a way how to get a bucket. And they know how to play with each other, too.
Efficiently, too.
Yeah. They've done this before. I think also LeBron will be able to shield Kyrie with a lot of outside perspective on the court where, like, you know what I mean? Off the court, he can, like, Kyrie can do his thing. He say things. And I know how LeBron is as a teammate. He's always going to back up his teammate. So he's going to shut down all that. He's going to shut down the media. He probably will work away with the Bus family to be like, hey, yeah, Kyrie, man, he doesn't want to take a vaccination. He doesn't want to show up to certain practices. You know what I mean? Fuck it, dude. The Lakers are the team they're the type of organization that likes to win. So we need to get back to winning. And we haven't won.
100%.
We haven't won since the bubble, which I also don't like that people
I hate that.
Which is still a championship. It's one of the hardest championships that's ever been done in the NBA history. But we do need to win something to shut people up.
We do. And sustained success, there's something to be said for that. Because you're seeing where the NBA is going. It's going to the young players. It's going to youth. Like, they're going to be here for a long time. John Morant's going to be here for a while. Yeah. You know, the Warriors' young core is going to be here for a while. Dallas, Luka is going to be here for a while. So if we could just show that we can win for a few years, like because obviously we're an older team. We got AD at like almost 30, 29 right now. We got Kyrie at 30. So these guys are in their primes. This is their time to show out. He's got what, 2-3 more years. And you have to maximize that time right now. And if we can be a winning team for 3 years, 2 to 3 years, that's a success for sure.
Definitely. You gotta bring something to the table to re-sign him. Because ideally what you're doing is you're locking him in so LeBron could break the record as a Laker, which is great. But honestly, he'd be cutting it close. If you look at the stats, he'd be cutting it very close. It almost looked like they would have to make the playoffs. They would have to almost. Unless he's shooting a lot more threes this year. Because I believe he's almost, I think he's got like 1,000 something.
1,000 to go?
I think he's got like 1,000, like 600 or something like that.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Not bad at all. But I think, you know what I mean? We don't want LeBron to be playing 82 games. We don't want LeBron to be going and trying to do that record because that would also tire him out. But I think that if the Lakers get Kyrie Irving, it does put them back on the map.
Yeah.
I do think it would also, I have them jumped to the 4th seed.
Yeah.
If they do get Kyrie. They could get Kyrie Irving and do a 4th seed. But
where's a good number?
Speaking as also a Lakers fan with it, is I wouldn't even mind sending Russell draft picks, maybe one of the young guys, and AD for Kyrie and KD.
If only that was an option, because I'd be down. I love AD, but
AD's not. If AD played last year how he played in the bubble for only 50 games,
it wouldn't be a thought process.
It would be a good trade, but he hasn't shown anything.
AD is a very polarizing player because, like, I feel like AD at his peak is psychotic. Like, that's a demon player. But then you see the motivation issues. You see like he's came into last year heavier because they told him. To be fair to him, they told him you need to get bigger if you're going to play center, right? And I think his dirty bulk was not beneficial for him. Like that contributed to higher risk of injury. Like his movements were different. He didn't look the same. He wasn't looking fluid. His shot was broke. Like
his shot was really bad this year.
And you look at him in the bubble, he was the best mid-range shooter I've ever seen out of him. Like
he was hitting very, very tough shots.
Yeah, he had a game winner on Jokic. Like this guy
he's the truth.
He's looking like a top 5 player at that point. And then regressing the way you do, just
I think, like you said, it's just all mindset. Like it's the drive of wanting to be. I think he got comfortable out in LA.
Yeah,
as
people do.
It should be a slap in the face. People don't have you as a top. They have you maybe 5 or like of top 5 bigs. Like
like he's not considered on the Jokic Embiid level right now.
No,
he's a tier below, which is crazy.
So, you know what I mean? The people have even Rudy Gobert over you sometimes, dude. Like
that's disrespectful, bro.
That's not okay. Like Karl Anthony Towns plays like how AD should play in the like how I'm saying in the regular season, not the playoffs.
Not the playoffs, but that one game for sure.
Yeah, like he can go and get 60. That's what Anthony Davis should be doing. Anthony Davis should be on the mentality of I'm getting MVP this year. That's what his mentality is.
100%. Couldn't have said it any better. KG was saying that too. He said, AD, all these people talking disrespect on your name right now. You should want to win MVP next year.
You want to win MVP. You should want to be maybe even defensive player of the year.
Yeah, get them both. Because we had the Giannis comparisons a couple years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Giannis has been winning. He's won defensive player of the year. So
and 2 MVPs since. AD doesn't have either of those right now.
Yeah, man. AD, you gotta step the hell up, dude.
And I as much as I don't like, we rag on AD, but he's really like when he decides to, I feel like this season's gonna be his year.
Yeah, no, when he
It's
wants to
happening.
be the best player on the floor, he can be the best player on the floor.
It's just as simple as deciding. Just
Yeah,
make the decision, you know.
make the decision and go to the next play. You know what I mean? He does miss a
He
lot of shots,
dwells.
and then he like you could tell that like he's just gonna go on a bad streak after that. Like you could see the drive, the body language. He like also like you'll see him miss a couple shots and then he'll go for like a layup. He don't like go up all the way. And it's like
He's like going like he's 6'2".
yeah, it's
He's
like
not going up like he's 6'11", you know.
not like how he was going in the bubble. He was dunking on people.
It wasn't layups. It was all dunks.
He was challenging people at the rim.
Yeah.
If we want to win a championship this year, we need that Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
regardless with Kyrie or not.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, LeBron and AD, no matter who's around you, can win you games, and they can win you playoff series. So it's gonna come down to that for sure. For sure.
LeBron's gonna do his job, you know.
Yeah, that's a guarantee.
He's gonna always do his job. But the worry is, yeah, just like you can't just rely on LeBron's greatness because he's getting
On 38.
Yeah, it's a sad time for me.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Time in my eyes is definitely slowing down.
Yeah. But did you see the workout clips recently?
No, I did see the workout. He's looking good. He's always in shape. I always know he's in shape.
I don't know like what he's on, like what $1.5 million is going to his body, but that shit is crack because he was hitting threes, just 20 in a row, ripping them off. I'm like, I have not seen him act this way.
You see that the longevity of his jump shot is getting less and less how he jumps. He's just like kind of what Luka does on his jump shot. It's just like no legs. It's
over the head.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, what the heck is he doing? But it's longevity. They're not wasting a lot of energy jumping, doing all that. And, like, he'll do that if he needs to do a tough shot. But I've seen, like, yeah, I know LeBron's always in the gym. I think he's always in the gym, too, because he's also inspired by his kids. Like
he is.
So I think that LeBron will have a big year as well. We'll probably see LeBron. I give him probably 26, 27 points this year.
Yeah.
He'll probably shoot
higher assist numbers, maybe.
Honestly, he'll probably shoot low this year. He'll probably shoot 40% from the field this year because he's probably going to shoot 40%.
He shot 52 last year.
I know, but I think he's going to shoot a lot more threes.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
I think he's going to shoot a lot more threes this year because if AD comes back. You remember LeBron was playing a lot of center this year too. So
that was too much center. That was way too much center. That last season is just the ugliest season in Lakers history.
So who do you think is possibly going to be the MVP this year? Going into this year, who do you have going as MVP?
All right, so I have the guy who I think should have, in like every Hooper's eye, could have won it this season, but in every statistician's eye, didn't. And that's Joel Embiid because look, this man was averaging 30 and 11. Like, come on, man. Like, I understand Jokic was triple-double like at 27 a game, which is psycho. Mm-hmm. His stats are crazy, but Joel Embiid to me is like the most dominant center in the NBA when it comes down to it right now.
Yeah.
And he cares. Also, like the MVP is a lot about who cares about winning one. And it's, to me, like Joel Embiid's not a guy who takes being slighted lightly. I think he takes that more as like, okay, like you say I'm second, Joel Embiid's second. I think next year's gonna come back with maybe the same stats, maybe a little bit better, and you just can't deny him. I think Philly got better too with PJ Tucker. Takes a little bit of pressure off him. Like he doesn't have to recover for defensive liability mistakes that they were dealing with. James Harden sacrificed for them. I think he's at this stage of his career is more of a better passer than he is a scorer. And I think he's setting up Joel with a lot of good shots.
He is setting him up, and he's setting him up to be, the MVP. And
Yeah.
I think also I saw that James Harden is also taking some time to really, I mean, he's had hamstring problems for like the last like 3 years. So
Yeah.
he can work on his body and get on that program. You do see progressions. Like earlier in his career, he was not a person to stay in shape.
No.
So I definitely seen the progression of him trying to stay in shape.
100%. He's really worked on his body, bro. Like he was the injury prone guy. Everyone was like, "Oh, why are we wasting our time with this guy?" And then he told us trust the process.
Yeah.
And he's here now. He's really here. And I feel like next year's his year to win it, because if he does, I don't think he's winning another one.
Yeah, I don't see him winning another one after this year for Joel.
His body only has so much time left.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Who do you have right now for next season?
For next season, I have. He's a dark horse, and I don't know if he was a candidate actually last year, but he might have been. But I have Luka Doncic. Why? Why I have
Great
Luka
choice.
is because I think the ball is now going to be fully in his hands. Now, I think Jalen Brunson was a great player for him. He got a bucket. Yeah. He did what he did, but he did take a lot of shots, and he did have the ball in his hand a lot.
Yeah.
They now have a 1-2 punch young duo with him and Christian Wood. And I think Christian Wood with a pick and roll is what they're trying to do with like Kleber and what's the other guy?
Dwight Powell.
Yep, and what's the other shooter? The
Dorian Finney-Smith? Bertans, yeah.
Yeah, they try and do a pick and pop. But Christian Wood can pick and pop and then go and get a bucket. Those guys can't.
He's a bucket. He's a bucket.
So I think that's going to spread the floor a lot for Luka. I think that he's going to have a breakout year again this year. I think they're really going to be a dark horse. I don't see them breaking the top 4, but I'd probably see them 6. But whoever's number 2, I wouldn't want to face Dallas.
No.
I wouldn't want to face Luka because he is he's shown that in the playoffs he can do it. He dragged that team
he really did
last year in the playoffs to that far, and he played a good games. He almost did what he could, but he was also injured. They have Tim Hardaway Jr.
He's coming back.
So they got they got a lot of young guys still. They got Bullock. They got Finney-Smith. They got Powell who could play defense.
Hey, they drafted our guy, Jaden Hardy.
Yeah, and come on, Jaden Hardy, man. Well, man, I think ideally they got a lot of shooters around him again, and that they like to shoot threes, and I think that they're gonna let Luka really just attack. I see Luka probably averaging 12 to 13 free throws a game this year.
Yeah.
And I heard
he's better shape too.
Yeah. I heard he slimmed down and got in shape, so he's my dark horse for the MVP. I do see Joel Embiid having the easiest probably way to the MVP, definitely, because he can really ideally just do what big men do.
100%.
Having James Harden having the ball with him. And James Harden is a phenomenal point guard.
Oh, 100%. When he's engaged, locked in shape, he's setting people up.
But yeah, when he's like when you could tell that it's like kind of relied on him to get a bucket, he's not the same anymore.
No, not anymore.
But he can still open up the floor for Embiid.
100%.
But yeah,
I'm loving your Luka. You're making me think Luka might be, top 3 in this discussion at least.
Dude,
usage rate's going to go up, and his usage rate's already probably the highest in the NBA, if not like top 5.
Yeah.
And dude, this man is 23 years old.
Luka has the potential. I think ideally at the end of Luka's career, he will be the best overseas player to ever play in the NBA. He's chasing Dirk, if we all want to say that. He's chasing. Yes. I think he's a better player than Tony Parker. Like he's a better player than Tony Parker. I know he doesn't have the rings yet, but He's a better player than Tony Parker.
He's got that dog for sure.
Yeah. And Dirk is like guiding him to be that. And what I love about Luka, he does not play basketball. He's nonstop playing basketball.
He's always hooping all
the time. Even if he's here or he's back in his country, in another country, he's always playing. I don't know how he's able to do that on contract, but if I was Mark Cuban, I would be like, bro, chill.
You're a franchise cornerstone.
Yeah, but it works for him. So
yeah, no, it does. He in this elite shape that he's in, the sky's the limit because yes, Wiggins dunked on him. He wasn't very, Luka's not the most athletic guy, but at the very least, he's not going to be a liability on defense next year. I can't envision that. I feel like if he can turn it on that side, that'll give him 2 to 4 more points. That'll give him a couple more assists. That'll be the difference for him. And people will look at him as a two-way guy. Obviously they won't, but if he could just show me a little bit on defense, I could see it.
Yeah, that's the key too. He does need to play a little bit on. He need to play harder on defense. That's what it is. It's not that he can't play. I've seen him play great on-ball defense, but he just needs to play defense all the time, hard. And if he does that, he can probably average 30, easy. Probably maybe around. I want to say 10 assists, but realistically, I'll probably give him 8, 9.
Yeah, he was at 8.7 last year, so that's a good number.
Yeah, I'd say 8, 9, and rebounds probably have like 6, because he does get a lot of rebounds. But if he could get like maybe 1 steal a game, you can put him on the map, man. You can put him on the
100%. I like that answer a lot. And then because of all this, who do you have as your top 4 in the West going into next year? We've been talking about the Warriors. We've been talking about Dallas. We've been talking about the Lakers. If they get Kyrie Irving right in the conversation. So who do you got?
Yeah. So I did 5, but the last one is an honorable mention. And I would say that they will be 5 or 6.
Okay.
My first, number 1, I have the Grizzlies. And I believe that if the Grizzlies can stay healthy, they have the potential to be the best, possibly the best team in NBA. But
regular season record.
Yeah, regular season record.
Gotcha.
I probably got them around a high 60, or maybe 62 games.
Yeah, I like that number.
62 games. Then I got the Warriors. That is the potentially to say, I don't know if Warriors get Kevin Durant, I got to put the Warriors number 1.
You're right. There's still some factors.
But the Warriors right now, I still think they're number 2.
Yeah.
If they can stay healthy. Then I got number 3 with the Suns. I think the Suns just play good basketball. They love their coach. They like the coaching is good. I think with CP3, if he can stay healthy, then more than half the season, still a great team.
Yeah.
And then I have potentially, if we get Kyrie Irving, I have the Lakers at number 4.
Wow.
But my honorable mention is the dark horse. And I think this is a team that everybody is sleeping on. And I want to have the Mavericks ahead of them, but I don't know. But it's going to be the Pelicans.
I had a feeling you were going to say the Pelicans. Damn.
Pelicans will probably be a 5 or 6 seed this year. And why I say that is because I think that CJ McCollum, BI, and Zion can win a lot of games, and they could be a highlight. That's a team that you don't want to go an away game, go over there. That's not even a team that you want to play their back-to-back with. That's a young, hard-working team. They got Herbert Jones. You got Alvarado that's going to fucking harass.
For 48 minutes. As long as he's on the court, he's D'ing you up full court.
that's I can't not put them up there because also I have the potential of Zion, and when Zion was there, he was averaging 22 points,
Bro, 27.
27 points, dude.
Like, that's crazy. He's 20 years old at that point.
And the highlights that he was doing, he was freaking dunking on people. He can grab rebounds. He can run the floor. He has a pretty good handle, like a kind of Julius Randle type of handle. Right. And honestly, they got some shooters too on their team. I think if what Zion is saying is true about what he's saying, he's gonna prove everybody wrong. He's gonna tell everybody he's here, he's healthy. The foot thing was a weird little injury. Yeah. He's back now. He's healthy. He looks better in shape. I don't say he's the next coming of LeBron or anything like that, but he could definitely be the next this new generation Charles Barkley.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. He's our generation's Chuck for sure.
Yeah. So that's who I got for the West. Who do you have?
All right, so our rankings are similar, but I do have a couple small differences. So I'm still gonna roll with the Warriors at being the number 1 seed. Yep. I feel like the reason they're gonna be the number 1 seed is because on the nights where their stars aren't trying to play too hard or play at all, they have the craziest replacements who can win you regular season games.
Definitely.
I think, look, Steph sits out one game. You got Jordan Poole is basically a baby Steph. You have Clay sitting out. Moody can give you a 20 to 30 point night. And the real demon.
PT.
Say again?
He just didn't get that much PT this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think again, replacement. If Draymond said, "Hey, fuck it, I'm gonna do a podcast today. I'm not hooping today." Jonathan Kuminga is that dude. He's very mistake prone right now because he's still 19, 20, he's figuring it out. But I think the Warriors are gonna stay, or they're gonna become the number 1 seed because of Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Jordan Poole, James Wiseman being able to keep their depth, and they'll win you regular season games for sure. And then at number 2, I do have Memphis, so it is close. I totally see the 62 games that you're saying. I don't know. I feel like with Memphis, it all depends on how teams are going to come out this year against them. Because I feel like it's really interesting when you see a team talk shit for an entire season and then back it up too. Yeah. But then next season, how other teams are going to come at you is always a thing. Because Draymond was talking about it on his podcast. When the Warriors were bad for 2 years, the other teams were punishing them for what the Warriors did to them the last few years.
Yeah.
And NBA players don't forget what some of these guys be talking about. So
they definitely have a big radar on their head.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Now that they have a target on their back, I'm interested to see if they can maintain, maybe if they can become the 1 seed. But I mean, they're still so lethal. Ja is that dude. He's still so athletic. You're seeing in the offseason, he just jumps so effortlessly. What he did to Jordan Poole in the playoffs, come on, man. He's coming back healthy. Desmond Bane's coming back healthy. I'm a little worried about Jaren Jackson because he's out for 6 months right now. It's the offseason though.
Yeah.
But they still got
injury though. It is an injury.
Yeah, they got players at every position though. I'm a big believer in Zaire Williams.
Yeah.
I think Zaire Williams is better than Dylan Brooks already. I feel like give him a couple more seasons and he's going to be a really good NBA small forward starter. Mm-hmm. And then this is surprising because I despise this team. I despise the next 2 teams, but I'm going with the Clippers at 3 because I think they're the definition of a regular season team. Yeah. They do have a lot to prove this year because they got clowned by Old Beverly in the play-in. They're coming back way better. Kawhi was not looking good in his warm-ups this offseason, but I have a feeling he's going to come back on demon time. Paul George is coming back healthy. Norman Powell is coming back healthy. John Wall, as much as people want to talk about that,
he has to be.
He has to be. He's been healthy. He's been resting for 2 seasons. He's got to be healthy. Zubats, Covington, Batum, Terrence Mann, they have depth. If the Warriors aren't the deepest team in the league, the Clippers are probably the deepest team in the league, They have a regular season kind of depth, and this might be disrespectful, but putting the Suns this low at 4 is where I have them right now. I think the
They might
Aiton
have a
stuff is
fall
gonna.
off year.
What do you say?
They might have a fall off year.
I could see it. Like 4 is fringe because this is me assuming we're not getting Kyrie. But if we do get Kyrie, I feel like it's that one. It's a battle for 4. But right now, I just feel like the Sun, they care so much about the regular season. There are teams that for some reason really care more than others about the regular season. I see them still doing that, but I am, for their case, I'm very worried about Chris Paul. He did not look playable in some of those games in the playoffs. Like they lost some of their depth. These guys they lost JaVale and they're gonna go put out Jock Landale next year. Like who is that? They're putting out. I love Bismack Biyombo, but Bismack Biyombo is gonna be playing next year. Like Jay Crowder, I think, is getting a little bit worse. I think Josh Okogie was a good signing, but I'm not sure if that's the depth that's going to win you enough games to be a top 4 seed. But I still think with D-Book, he also got clowned a lot. So I think he's going to try and prove himself. So I would say the Suns fringe team at 4. Sleepers for 4, though, would be the Mavericks and the Lakers. Mavs, man, like they're right there. I just don't think regular season-wise they're going to be there, but yeah, that's my top 4. Warriors, Memphis, Clippers, and Suns.
Yeah. I think they got better too.
Yeah.
So what do you have for the East?
For the East. So the East is a tough one because
everyone's like pretty much the same.
Yeah, like these teams are all on very similar levels. So I have Milwaukee coming back, being the number 1 seed. I feel like Giannis is the best player in the NBA. Like Chris Middleton's going to be healthy, although he's going through surgery, but he'll be healthy by the start of the season. Drew is the best perimeter defender in the NBA. They got Joe Ingles. I know it's not a big signing, but that's important for them. They have a shooter, and they got some wing depth. They got size. They got Brooke, Bobby. I think they're number 1. This one's going to be a little controversial. I got Miami at 2 over Boston. Because I think they're gonna get Donovan Mitchell. I think that's just a fact. And if they don't, New York will. But I don't know. D-Wade's telling me a lot with his collusion, but it's a story for another time. Yeah. I think Donovan and Jimmy Butler and Bam is going to be a lethal trio if they can make that happen. And I think that's number 2. Boston got Malcolm Brogdon. They got better, but I just can't see that team being better than a team with Donovan, Jimmy, and Bam. So I'm putting them at 3. And then at 4, I got Philly. Because of my faith in Joel, if he's going to be the MVP, they got to be a top 4 seed. Yeah.
Nowadays, you have to be.
You have to be.
Don't let anybody that's second be first.
No. They don't let that happen. And also, PJ is such a big factor for them. I feel like the size they have on that team is a little dangerous now. They don't really have a bench like that, but I have faith in